And I kind of want you to sign my book like on tape.
I would love. Wait, we don't have a pen. Oh, would you mind?
We can do that.
Okay, good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dr. Burchett Show. This interview has been a long time coming. I am joined by Caroline Jordan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Larry. I'm so thrilled to be here with all of you.
We are going to talk about Caroline's new book, hot off the press. This is mine. I bought this.
Yes, you did. He absolutely did.
And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get a signature from the author herself.
Maybe. We'll see how the show goes. We kind of have to,
do I have to earn it?
Maybe, yeah. Let's work on that.
Oh, I'm going to earn it, baby. We're going to talk about this. There's a lot of great things in this book that can help you. So this is what I want to do. Let me know if this is okay with you. Talk about some of the challenges, troubles, things people do wrong in a bunch of different categories like nutrition, exercise, self-care. That was a big one for me. Mm-hmm. That was kind of a big one for me. I mean, I think I got this diet and exercise thing down, having written The Gentleman's Diet, but there is not. We can just start going through this book.
So I think, these are all really simple concepts, right? Take care of yourself, eat good food, exercise. But the problem is what's simple is not so simple when it comes to actually putting it into your life and making it part of your habits that help you transform your health and wellness. So the hard part for everyone is learning how to take fitness and exercise and self-care and make it work for themselves in their own unique life with their own unique set of challenges. So this book kind of helps introduce you to different ways you can find your own habits that work for you and that can transform your health and wellness.
It's a how-to.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody knows that they should exercise and eat healthy. How do you do that? Right here, baby. That's the answer. So let's go through this. Caroline, who are you? Tell us a little bit about you. You are a
health and wellness coach, and I'm based out of San Francisco, California. I've been a mover my entire life. So I started with
a mover.
A mover, yes, a mover and a healthy life lover my entire life. So I've been very blessed to have been raised in a family that loved exercise and eating well.
You said your mom was a nurse and your dad was a doctor.
Dad was a doctor. Yep.
A pretty good start.
Yep.
Probably like my mom was a nurse. God, I mean, love mom, but we did not eat the best. So it's good to, have that, you had that model.
Yep.
Now we can kind of learn from you. I think that's a great thing we're going to do here.
So my mom taught group fitness actually on the side.
So she was a nurse and like a fitness instructor.
Yep. And I thought my mom was the coolest person in the whole world. So I wanted to take group fitness with her. So I started going to her step aerobics classes when I was 14. And I was dancing at the time. And dance is a very hard, you're never right. It's a very hard discipline. Mm-hmm. But in group fitness, you can't really go wrong with fitness. You just get to have a lot of fun and, move around to the music. So I loved it and thought I wanted to be the next Jane Fonda. I started teaching when I was 14.
Could be.
I still have a chance. So I started teaching when I was 14 because my mom needed sub.
When did you kind of get into this stuff? You said when you...
Fitness?
Yeah.
I think I started working in the fitness industry at 14. But moving, I was put in ballet shoes at 3. So, yeah.
Wow.
So I'm lucky in that way. But,
I was put in ballet shoes a little bit later than 3.
Were you really, though?
No.
Oh.
But I'm honored that you thought that I might have been a ballerina.
It brings discipline and musicality and all these beautiful things.
I've gone to the ballet several times. Those guys have incredible bodies and are able to move. I'm sure I would have liked it. In this country, it's not kind of a straight male, I played football and soccer and wrestling, you know what I mean? It's different. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a great discipline.
It is. And it gives you so many different things you can use in your personal and professional life. So I'm very grateful for my dance background. I went to college to major in dance because I taught group fitness all through high school. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do dance and continue working in the fitness world. And then moved more and more personal training, management for group fitness, teaching full time.
When you say more and more, what got you into that? Why did you kind of go in that direction?
I love making people feel good. And, you know, it's so amazing to create this experience where people can come from all ages and abilities, and you play music and you get them moving, and they have community and they have exercise, and it just brings them joy. And if you can make someone, you know, make that hour of their day really special, and not only help them transform their fitness, but maybe also their mindset and their attitude, it's a really cool gift that gives back to you. So it is addicting because you give someone something that makes them feel good, and then you feel good in return.
That's great.
Yeah.
Making a difference, and then it comes back to you. That's the way it should be.
Same with medicine, right? You get to help people heal their health, and when they feel better and they live healthy lives because of you, that's really rewarding.
Yeah.
Yep.
Satisfying. Okay, so college, you kind of got into this more. You felt like you were really making a difference in people's lives, and that was giving back to you. And then, so what has happened since then? You do corporate wellness, and you've kind of taken this to another level.
Well, and my book in part tells the story. So right here, which will of course
Her
provide
book,
you links where you can grab
Balanced
it below.
Body Breakthrough, which is for sale. Where is it for sale, Caroline?
Amazon, Inkshares, and Barnes & Noble.
When is the actual launch of this where people can buy it on Amazon?
October 18th.
Wow.
Yep.
Anyway, right here, check it out on Amazon, Balanced Body Breakthrough. We're going to plug that a lot. Okay, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So when I graduated from college, I wanted to move to the big city, which for me was San Francisco, and pursue fitness full time because, again, I thought I wanted to be Jane Fonda. So I hustled really hard.
I want you to be Jane Fonda.
I know.
But like your own
There's probably
version.
still a chance. Yeah, the wellness version of
Will
Jane
you
Fonda.
wear
We'll
like
see.
Jane Fonda clothes?
I have
like
it all. Yeah, at all. I've taught group fitness classes in it.
Can we do like some kind of like stretchy yoga thing? Like you and me, like some kind of, and I don't know what I would wear, but if
That
you
would
put
be
that
a
Jane Fonda thing on.
award-winning show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dangerous.
Sorry, you got me distracted with the Jane Fonda thing.
So, I hustled really hard in fitness, and I was teaching full-time and working full-time as a fitness professional, and I completely burned out. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't taking good care of myself.
You were probably doing this like all day long, like
Right.
tons of classes and cardio
And I mean, not just teaching, but giving. So when you teach, you give your energy, you give your time.
Yeah.
You're not really like, yes, while the feeling of making someone else feel better gives you that reward, you don't really replenish or restore your own self. And it was just, it wasn't the right fit. Some people really... Too much. It was just too much. It was also too much of like living in fight or flight mode because...
a lot of adrenaline.
And again, that creates like insomnia, all sorts of like health problems. When you're in fight or flight mode and you're not taking that downtime to rest and recharge your physical or mental self, you completely burn out.
This is great. I like that you're telling your story, and you know, you loved this, you got really into it, and then it went too far. And how did you know that you were burnt out? Some people might be in the middle of it right now. Like, how did you know? What did that feel like?
Gosh, you're depressed, you're anxious, you don't know why things aren't working, nothing works right in your life. And I think for me, because I'm a generally very positive person, I was sad all the time. And you know, you have this blessed life, like San Francisco is a beautiful city to live in. I love teaching fitness classes. I love my family and my friends, but when you're not able to enjoy that and really be present for it, when you're constantly living in like, need to go teach my next class, need to run, need to go, need to hustle, like what's
Busy,
next time?
yeah.
Right. You're not really plugged into yourself or the way you're living your life. So
How long ago was it that you felt this way?
2010.
So like 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah, 6 years ago.
Okay. So what did you do? I'm curious to hear what... I hope you're not still that way.
No, I'm not. Absolutely. I think you just have a wake-up call. You realize that this is not the way you're meant to live your life. You're not meant to live your life exhausted.
Yeah.
You're not meant to live your life not present. You are not meant to feel sick and tired and...
Was there like a specific moment when a light went off for you? Or do you remember anything in particular?
Yeah, you know...
Sometimes it's like these moments where we just have an epiphany or a realization and then things change. I'm curious.
Yeah, I think it was just like the stream of like injury, illness, like all of these and just general exhaustion. And I
Yeah.
remember coming home and just being like, this sucks. And life doesn't have to suck. And, I deserve more than this. And I had to change it because no one is responsible for my health and my happiness and the way that I'm living my life except for me. And so I knew I had to make a change. I didn't really exactly know what that was, but it started with, exploring, okay, what makes me happy? What makes me feel healthy? How do I return to that vibrant state of health that I believe everybody has? We all have that ability to be healthy and to be whole. It just takes you sitting down to figure out, what do I need to do that?
So for you, what were some of the first steps? So you asked these questions, I think the basic question you're asking is, what do I have to do to be happy? Because I'm not happy right now. So what was some of the first steps that you took?
If you don't like where you are, you have to decide where you'd rather be. And I think
your vision.
Yeah, you have to have a vision. What does wellness mean to you? And for everybody, it's different. Some people, it's having time to have dinner with their families, or having time to read good books, or go dance the night away like Thursday night.
What was your vision?
Club.
Let me plug your book again. This is great because this is in The Gentleman's Diet, chapter 1 is your compelling vision. Okay? In Balanced Body Breakthrough, I'm going to go to the index here, the table of contents. Chapter 1, Secrets for Success, creating a clear vision.
Right.
I totally agree. That's where you have to start is, what do you want? What's your ideal life? What do you want it to look like? And
you might know this too. I think it's really interesting. I coach a lot of clients and a lot of really smart, amazing people. And you sit down and you say, what do you want? And they don't know. They don't know the answer. They're like, oh, that's a really hard question. So I think in figuring out what you want, you can start with, okay, this is what I don't want. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be tired. I don't want to be going through the motions. I don't want to be not going from point A to point B in my day and not experiencing it. So by identifying, okay, I don't want to teach full time. That's not the right fit for me. It got me to this place right now because it's not.
Less teaching.
Right.
You want less teaching, okay.
So I kind of had to pull back and say, okay, if this career isn't right, this thing that I thought I wanted, that I thought would make me happy, if this isn't what it is.
Because for you, that had led to burnout and
Right.
to not feeling happy and depressed and all these things.
But also an important thing to remember is that, happiness never lies on the other side of reaching a goal. It doesn't lie on you getting successful or famous or making lots of money. You don't get there and then be happy, because guarantee you once you get there, you're going to want to do something else, because happiness lies on the other side of that goal. So I think recognizing that happiness is in every day and it's in every moment. And even if you're in a crazy challenge or you're in, something that's very hard for you mentally or physically, that you can still find gratitude and, and find joy in that. So also recognizing that.
Kind of like the path.
Right.
Not the end, it's about the path.
Right, recognizing that, okay, so maybe being a fitness instructor full-time, being Jane Fonda wasn't going to make me happy, because that responsibility is on me, no matter what career I choose. So, it wasn't teaching full-time. It wasn't the right fit for my unique strengths.
So step 1, teach less. Okay, what else?
I kind of just took a pause on everything. And you hear these dramatic people take Eat, Pray, Love, for example. Okay, I'm going to pause and go travel the world and invest in myself and search inside myself to figure out what I need. It wasn't like that, but it was definitely okay, I need to stop teaching. So if I stop teaching, how do I make money? What do I do? But not just what do I do? What am I good at? What are my unique strengths? How can I be of greatest service?
So you kind of got a little deeper in there. Yeah.
You have to, because we're all made up of something different. What you bring to the table and your unique gifts are going to help the world in such a special way if you honor what you have to give. So instead
of soul searching, you went right at it. You didn't just be like, oh, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to walk and I'll get a dog and go to the park a little bit.
Pick up a coffee job.
I'll eat some bonbons and put my feet up for a while.
Yeah.
You dug into it.
Well, you have to change. It's your life. You can't just again, a quick fix or doing something that's not intentional isn't really going to help you make much progress. So if you really want to have a wake-up call, it starts with you figuring out more about yourself and more about what living a meaningful life means to you, and taking really smart, small action steps to make that happen. So I think actually, to go back, the first thing I really did was make a vision board. and I still have the vision board.
Like, would you put stickies, or how did you?
Yeah,
what's
so
your
I
vision
love
board?
crafts and crafts and arts and all those things. So you take a piece of poster board
Yeah.
and all your favorite magazines, and you pull out the images and the colors and the words that resonate with you and where you want to be. So if you can't identify what you want, sometimes it helps to just put like pictures to it. So maybe you don't know that you want to be healthy, or you want to be able to see your friends a couple times a week, but you make this vision board and you say, this is what it feels like when I'm healthy and happy. And then you can start kind of attracting that image in your life.
I'm thinking of my vision board now, and it's pretty much just going to have a shirtless picture of Zac Efron, like right in the middle.
Oh, really? So law of attraction?
I want to look
Bring
like
that
that. I want to. Well, I don't know that I want to bring that in. You know what I'm saying? But I want to look like that. Except I don't need the like hairy chest. Like I don't got the hairy chest, but yeah, that bro's cut.
It does help. It does help. So if you make that, I would love to know how you achieve that vision in your life.
How do I become more like Zac Efron?
Yeah, you should do a before and after.
I'll get back to you on that.
Before vision board, after vision board. But I think with the vision board too, it gives you something tangible to hold on to. So you're not just saying, oh, I kind of want to be healthy.
Do you do this with your clients?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some clients choose to do vision boards.
Have you thought about doing a vision board? You
can even do it online now.
And I'm curious, like what would that look like for you? Kind of the compare and contrast. Like what's on your vision board maybe that you're not doing now? What would your next step to be to get there? You said you can do it online?
Yeah. Oprah, of course, has made like vision board tools online. So if you're not like an artsy craftsy types of person, you can absolutely make one online. And Pinterest actually serves a purpose in that too. But I think the hard part with the digital is that it's never like always in your face all the time. If you make a vision board and it's in your apartment and you see it when you walk home and you see that image of like, this is what I'm working towards, you're reminded every day of why it's worth it. Because here's the thing, like if you want to change your life and take care of yourself, it is really hard work. And you got to dedicate yourself to it every day.
Oh, what's up?
But it gets easier.
Hard work.
Hard work.
Okay, so we got Zac Efron, and he's like big on the vision board. But I'm gonna put like
Is he really?
I'm gonna put like a little Oprah next to that.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
like,
big
we
time.
could meet Oprah one day.
Yes,
right?
it's happening. It is happening. Oprah and I are like best friends. She just doesn't know it yet. So
Totally.
But yeah, I think identifying what you want helps you also.
Now, what chapter is all of this in the book?
Chapter.
Is this in the beginning? Is this the vision stuff?
One, yeah.
Yeah. You're starting with that.
So and when
Clear vision, key elements like your core values, motivators, SMART goals, and then you give a couple examples, Haley and Megan and their visions.
So I had some coaching clients volunteer kind of how they've worked through this process, and it takes a long time to sit down with yourself and identify, okay, what do I want? What are my unique strengths? What do I value about my life? And how can I create this vision that incorporates my strengths and my values and things I love to do so that I'm moving towards accomplishing that vision.
What are some of the, I like to compare and contrast what people aren't doing and then kind of the first steps they take. So what are common things that people discover when they do their vision board?
I think it's interesting because I think for a lot of clients, they realize how much their work life takes up a huge chunk of their life.
Like more time and energy than they really want.
Right, exactly. And then they're feeling like burnout and tired and they don't have time for their friends. And I think what most people realize is like how much they've been giving to their work, which is a beautiful thing. But there has to be a balance between like how much you hustle and make money and all those things to how much you're also plugged into your well-being and your ability to like be present in your life with your family and your friends. So I think too, like it's a process of self-discovery. Some people don't know what they're good at. They don't know what they love to do, what makes them feel happy.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
But you think about it, like same with mine. I was raised in fitness and I thought I just kind of autopilot. Like, okay, if I'm teaching now, I should be teaching when I'm older and then I should be famous. And then I just kind of went the ladder because I thought
that's what
that
it
was
looks
the
like.
ladder.
That was the vision.
Right. And then when you're on that ladder and you're like, wait, this isn't the ladder that I am meant to climb, then you can figure out, okay, which ladder is, or do I make my own ladder?
So how do you visualize it now? It was interesting that you just said this was the vision, like that was the path. A lot of people, past is here and the future is there, and you kind of did this. Mm-hmm. How do you represent your vision now? Where does it go?
Gosh, well,
like, does it go like this?
It's amazing because, yeah, you live it every day, right? You have to choose to take care of your body and your mind and your spirit by like good, meaningful social relationships and being connected to the world.
So let's say, what's the next step for you? So you got the book. Let's say the book does well. Where do you have you ever done this timeline thing? We can totally edit any of this stuff out.
I'm more in the present moment. Let's just say that. No,
Have you ever done a timeline thing?
So
let me show you this.
I haven't.
So people will conceptualize their past and present, and they'll put it somewhere in their visual field.
Okay.
Like this. So like a common thing is their past is over here. Like, oh, this is grade school, and then like high school and college, and here I am now in the present. Mm-hmm. And then here I'm gonna I'll get married and have kids, and then da da da. And so it kind of goes like this. Mm-hmm. Some people go the other way. The past is behind them, and their future's in front of them. And the funny thing about it is that as your vision changes, so I was curious because you're like, this was the path, and you kind of did one of these. And so that sounded like the future. It was kind of like in front of you, and it kind of wound around to the right. So I'm curious now that it's different, it's almost like that got erased. Is your future more like this? Is it still the same trajectory, but now it's just different points?
And it's interesting because I think I used to plan a lot for the future.
Or do you not even think of it that way anymore?
I think it's different, because life has kind of thrown me some really interesting curveballs that I did not expect. And it kind of taught me that as much as you plan, the universe just kind of laughs at that. So I think the best way to get to where you need to be is use your strengths, do what makes you happy, love your work and love the way that you're living your life. And then it naturally progresses into every day is fulfilling and meaningful for you. Just because I to be honest, I feel like if you trust in your strengths and you're using your unique gifts to be of service in whatever way you're meant to be, you naturally end up to where you want to go. Does that make sense? I could say oh, maybe I'll just be famous and I'll be on Oprah, but I know that saying that goal or stating where I think I might be in 10 years is going to change so much because every day I learn more about myself and about how I can help other people. And I use these tools all the time. So it's not just oh, create your vision and then you're done. You never touch those things again. Mm-hmm. It's kind of every day checking in okay, am I happy in the moment? It's
an ongoing process.
Yeah, all the time.
Redefining.
All the time. Because I could say oh, sure, I'll be so happy if in 2 years, I'm on Oprah or I get married or I accomplish all these things. But I know that my happiness doesn't lie in accomplishing any vision, but it really does lie in the moment. And as long as I'm using my gifts and honoring my strengths and, living in a way that makes me happy, I'll be totally fine wherever I go. So, does that make sense?
Got it.
That's kind of really the little new agey for the Larry Burchett show. So sorry.
The Dr. Burchett show can handle anything new agey that you can bring.
But because I think it's really interesting. I lost my mom kind of 2 years ago. And
your mom died?
She didn't die. She had a crazy accident. So she's permanently brain damaged.
Oh.
New mom. Which has really been an interesting curveball because she's the reason I am who I am. So, and I think, my dad had plans and my family had plans, and you kind of get one of those and you're like, whoa, life has their plans. But it gives you things that help you get to who you need to be. I know that that's meant to happen in my life because I'm supposed to be this person that helps other people through those types of challenges. So I have to go through it. I have to process it. I have to
You're taking meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
What's happened.
And I think they've done a whole bunch of studies and about people how they respond to these crazy life challenges. Some people use them to transform and transcend their lives, and other people, just let them kind of destroy them.
Yeah.
So you always have a choice. If you are getting a challenge at work, or you're getting you're going through a really tough loss of someone, or divorce or anything, you have a choice to either let that empower you to live more fully, or it can take you down. So I think giving people the tools they can use to okay, manage life's challenges and stay connected to themselves and work through it so they can continue to live a meaningful life is really key. Yeah, that goes back to the vision. But
yeah, well, no, I'm glad that you found meaning and been able to go on. I'm sorry that happened. That's a loss.
It
That's
happens
a
to
big
everybody
loss.
though, right? Like no one is immune to the loss of a loved one. It happens. And I mean,
Unless you're the lucky one that dies first.
I know. But like dealing with loss and how you can use it to greater inform your life and serve you in living, I think that wakes you up to like, okay, be more present every day, spend more time with the people you love. I don't have any regrets with my mom at all, but it's really amazing how like those types of experiences can really give us more to live our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heavy topic. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, let's push pause. We will be right back. I'm sweating a lot
I'm
and
so
need to
hot
like
right now.
wipe off my face, but this has been good. We'll be back with Caroline Jordan and Balanced Body Breakthrough.
Awesome.
Like we said, available mid-October on Amazon. The Dr. Burchett Show will be right back.
It's so hot. What are we gonna do?
Sweat.
Oh my God. There came in the mail. My dad's the sweetest thing. He's such a dad.
Okay, what are my two gonna be?
What were your biggest takeaways? Like if you were to I have a question for you. Like, you're like the sexy real doctor.
Wait, I'm the what?
If the Today Show.
No, say that again. That was me like wanting a little bit more.
Okay, you're the sexy real doctor.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, Caroline. Just one more time.
Well, just for the fans out there.
Don't say it again for my ego.
So if Dr. Larry is the sexy real doctor that provides like real information that can powerfully change your life with authenticity and a little bit of humor and sass, what would...
I like all of that. That's
yeah,
good.
I know.
Yeah.
What would, like your biggest takeaway, if you were to like sum me up for the ABC Today Show, what would yours be?
Oh my God. My summary of you... What is my summary of you? I like the story to focus on the story. I like how you are a, ballerina since childhood, fitness guru. I'm gonna call you a guru.
Thank you.
Who, was passionate about what you did so much that you drove yourself to burnout, helping so many people, and then kind of had this window into to get to another level of happiness and wellness and peace. And then I think that's you have so much more to offer than just like coaching somebody on a treadmill, you know? And so putting that in that book, that's why I like, because the things that I'm really excited about, I think we all want to, I'm not going to talk that much, by the way. You got me talking.
No, I'm so curious. I know. I want to know.
We all really want to help people. And we all want to help people in a way that provides long-lasting change and happiness and health. And a lot of the quick fix crap that we see really doesn't do it. So for you in your book to get to places where I'm going to, again, refer to my table of contents here. It's not overstated. Okay, so obviously you talk about fitness and cardio and weights and nutrition, of course, like that's kind of obvious. But then you get into things like sleep, time management, very practical, balanced mind. I like that you get into that stuff. Managing stress for a healthier mindset. And then part 4. Okay, what were the parts here? Balanced body.
Body, mind, spirit.
Body, mind, and spirit. And then the spiritual part. And then, so something that I want to talk about more is self-care. Just that concept, that way that we relate to ourselves. Do we grind ourselves, do we go to the grind and just continually flog ourselves at work or at busy, or whatever it is? Or do we have this disposition where we treat ourselves well? We're on our own side. The way that we talk to ourselves, we're not super critical. And then like allowing ourselves, I need some work here. Allowing ourselves fun and allowing ourselves to eat a donut every now and again, To
live our lives. Yeah. I think the spirit section is really where it all comes. They say the happiest people in the world aren't necessarily the most fit or the most religious with their diet, but they're those who are connected to themselves and their lives and they're present. And usually when your spirit's in good shape, when you're you're feeling alive and you're feeling happy, you make good choices. You choose to eat foods that fuel you with energy. You choose to move your body in a way that makes you feel good. You're more fun to be around. You're better to work with. When your mental and spiritual state are in a really happy, good place, then you naturally do things that make you feel better and continue that going on. So I think most people think it's an external, like, oh, if I just get in shape and if I lose the weight and if I eat this diet, then I'll be happy. But it actually really does work when you work on the internal. How's my mindset? How's my mood? What am I doing to take care of my mental and emotional health?
Yeah.
So
I saw this quote the other day. The way that I would put it, it's not even a quotable thing, but the key to happiness is integrity. And what I mean by that is whatever it is that you believe that's important to you, that you live that your actions reflect that you live consistently with that. So like you're saying, you're gonna eat well and take care of yourself and do all these things, but it's the inside that leads the way on that.
Right, and everyone's different. I mean, everyone values different things in their lives. But really sitting down to make sure that your actions are in line with your values. Are you making time for family if that's important to you?
That you are living your life, nobody else's life, your life.
Well, because I think today too, and even if you love your job, I think it's hardest, self-care is hardest for the people who love their jobs. Because your job is, you love it and you're great at it and it's a beautiful thing. So how do you balance that job you love with not burning out? How do you do all this preventative work on yourself and recognize that it's really important? Because I'm the same. Like, I love my work. I would do it 24/7 if I didn't stop myself.
You did do it 24/7.
Exactly. So like you put in, no, you know what? I'm going to take Sunday off. I'm not going to answer emails. I'm not going to do this, that, and the other thing. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Because I know if I take that time, then I have more gas in my tank to do what I want to do.
So let me ask you this while we're on this topic. So for you, what are the things you have to do to sharpen the saw?
Oh gosh. Well, I don't pick up my cell phone. No text, no emails before 9. So
before 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Okay. What else?
So having like a really structured boundaries with my tech, because that kind of sets boundaries with my work too. So
boundary with your tech?
Tech.
What does that mean? I know we're in San Francisco. What does that mean?
Text messages, emails, Facebook,
what kind
Twitter.
of boundaries for you do you use for that? Because I think that's really important. I mean, like, how many times have I just gotten lost in my phone doing whatever?
Yeah. For me, it's like setting it to bed at a certain time. So if I know that like I want...
So you turn your phone off by...
It depends.
An hour before bedtime or
bed.
whatever. Okay.
I meditate. I spend time moving my body every day.
How much time do you typically meditate? Like 10 minutes or 20 minutes or something?
Kind of just go with it every day.
Daily? Okay,
daily.
So you meditate daily.
So, I do use Headspace and I use Calm and I use Insight Timer. And sometimes...
I love Headspace. I've
good.
Done a bunch of those.
Yeah, Andy's amazing. And he's...
Andy,
because his
that
British accent,
bald,
like...
foreign.
Yeah.
I thought he was Australian.
No.
He's British?
Is he British? We'll find out. Don't quote us on the show. Yeah, he's great.
Welcome back
right.
to Headspace.
Because I think the thing people
Your
don't
mental
recognize...
journey.
Yeah, like they go through the motions, or like even if you're crushing it in your
I think
fitness,
he's Australian.
I don't think so.
We're going to look that up.
Okay. He's great. So, and mindfulness-based stress reduction, I also think is great. Being more mindful of, your thoughts and your emotions that are influencing your actions. That's key. Because some people, there's so much going on up there. And you have to create space to like sort it out so that you can be more intentional with every day, with everything that you're doing. So I practice it all, the body, the mind, and the spirit. And I think it's hard for like high achieving, driven people to practice self-care.
What are your challenges to balance now?
Finding the pause, like balancing the schedule and like making sure that I have enough time for rest and recovery and recharging. So making sure to plan in advance for that, because if you don't plan for it, it doesn't happen.
So planning that into your schedule.
Like especially, you become more and more successful and everybody wants a chunk of your time. There's a million people who want you to answer.
I want a chunk of that time.
Right?
Got it.
So you have to make sure that you have non-negotiable things that you do for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'd love to meet you then, but I've got a date, which might just be like you going to the gym to exercise because that's your only hour you have.
That's not a date, Caroline.
Well, I mean, okay, a date with yourself.
Not
right?
a date.
But people can't say no. They can't say no, and they can't.
Okay, how about this? What, like, do you have any guilty pleasures you allow yourself, food-wise? Do you like chocolate? Do you like sweets?
I eat chocolate. I drink coffee in the morning, 1 cup. I'm good.
It's not that bad, though.
It's not. I really don't have a lot of dietary.
Okay, let me tell you mine. I love McDonald's. I just
Oh my God, do you really?
Well, I do. It's true. But I don't eat it like every day.
So how often?
Oh.
I'm not judging. All right. McDonald's, actually, they put nutritional, like,
No, it's terrible. It's
information.
absolutely terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But you know what?
You can indulge.
It's delicious. Like once a month, maybe. Like, okay, it's probably a little more than that. But it's not every week.
I'm trying to think what mine is.
Taco Bell. Oh my God. I did that the other day. It was amazing. And then I felt terrible afterwards. But it was so worth it. And then pizza. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think because I love sugar, so.
My daughter loves McDonald's. Like, old McDonald's is what she calls it. It's just kind of funny.
That is awesome.
She
Has a
loves
farm.
those toys. Like, they've just got her. And I hate it. Like, I hate it. But every now and again we do it. And you know what? She's a kid. Fine.
Yeah.
We're not doing that every day. But
No. Well, she'll be healthy because she's been raised by you, right? So I think you can.
I think she's going to be like a huge rebel. And she will probably be like 100 pounds overweight by the time she's 25. Because I've tried to, like, cram vegetables down her mouth.
I think with healthy changes, this is what's really interesting. When you push something on somebody, they never want it. But if you invite them to like explore, you're like, oh, why don't you just try this and see what you know? If you have this like kind of playful, like invitation type of attitude towards healthy changes, people are much more likely to do it. Or it's almost like a challenge, like you're finding with your group of men that maybe, you're making a competition or teasing them.
So funny.
And then they want to make healthy changes.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I could get better at getting my daughter to eat vegetables. We're going to push pause right now, and we will be right back at the Dr. Burchett Show. Don't go anywhere.
Do you want to be in our show?
No.
Audrey, come on
hi,
in.
Audrey.
Sit down.
Like, move all the furniture. I have to go right back out, but I wanted to come.
We'll
say hello,
move
and I
it.
love
This
you.
is Caroline
Hi, I'm
Jordan.
Caroline, and
Very
please
good to
thank you
meet you.
so much for being generous and lending
Sorry,
your house.
and I haven't showered
You look
since
great.
Beyonce.
Oh,
I
Beyonce.
taught
Was
with
it
my
fun?
makeup on this morning.
Was it fun?
Oh my god, it was.
So did
insanely
you like
awesome.
Walk of Shame too?
No. No, I got home, I slept, but then this morning I had to teach. I teach daily method.
Awesome.
And I
Was she
even
great?
washed my face. I put
Where
on
was it?
clothes. Levi Stadium. She was insanely awesome.
It's Beyonce. How you can't
was-
I've
be
never
bad
seen
when
her,
you're
but I
Beyonce.
kind of want to.
Oh yeah.
I'll go again next time she's here. It was amazing. I have to run back out again, but I want
Say
to
hi because you're on TV. Your butt's on TV anyway.
Any chance you know Stephanie Frenze of Daily Method?
Where does she teach? The name sounds
I
familiar.
think it's like South Bay somewhere.
I may have encountered her at one point. I've been teaching for like 4 years, but I only teach here in the city. And
Be able to talk about little burnout. We've got the red dot. Big smile. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dr. Burchett Show. This show today with Caroline Jordan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Larry.
Caroline, this has been a long time in the making. I'm really excited to talk about Caroline's book, Balanced Body Breakthrough. Do the Vanna thing. Yep, there you go. We need to work on your Vanna.
Yeah, we really do.
I think you're a much
Like-
better coach and trainer
Than
and
Vanna.
fitness guru. That's what I'm going to call you.
We have to start it again because
we're-
I'm not a trainer.
Oh, you're not a trainer?
No. Well, I am, but it's like the only word you can't use with me or my skin crawls. I'm
Why?
so sorry.
You don't like trainer?
No, because trainer is like a really bad rap.
Oh. Are you a trainer though?
I have a personal training certification.
The T word. Get into that in a second.
Like all bad news.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dr. Burchett Show. I'm very happy that you are joining me and Caroline Jordan here today to talk about her new book, Balanced Body Breakthrough. Give me the Vanna. Give me the Vanna. You need to work on your Vanna again. Caroline Jordan, we're going to talk about more of who she is. She is a wellness guru. And there's a lot of pointers, a lot of things that can help you. We're going to talk more about her in a second. Give them 2 things that's great about this book that we're going to talk about. Teasers.
Well, if you're tired of feeling burnt out, overwhelmed, and stressed, this is my wellness coaching guide to getting your mind, body, and spirit in great shape so that you can love your life.
So if you want to love your life, stick around with the Dr. Burchett Show, and we will tell you, we'll give you a glimpse of how to do that. And then you can, okay, here's a couple things from me. Chapter 4, Rest and Sleep. Caroline says, sleep your way to the top. Kind of made my face change color when she said that. We're going to talk more about that. And under the Balanced Body, Chapter 2, Fitness, Flexibility Training, and Self-Massage. Very naughty. What does that mean? We're going to talk about that in a second. Okay, so Caroline, what does wellness guru even mean?
I help people train their physical, mental, and emotional selves so that they can live fulfilling, intentional lives. So, when someone comes to me and they want to get fit or find balance or feel better in their day-to-day, I can help them identify what they need to do and take action steps forward towards accomplishing that state in their life.
You have always been in fitness. You grew up doing ballet. Your mom was a nurse who taught fitness classes. You even, I think at age 14, started doing your own
teaching.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we've talked about this. You really liked that. You felt like you could help people. They come in, you kind of created this space. They walked away happier. Mm-hmm. You got more and more into that. And then you had your own burnout.
Right.
You were doing that too much, giving too much, and you weren't happy.
I think we all struggle with this, even if you love your job. If you don't take time to take care of your mental, physical, or emotional self, you will burn out. And you'll wake up and you'll be so exhausted that you can't give to those that you love or live a great life. So I think it's really important to have a wake-up call before you hit the wall. And this book kind of gives you the tools to do that. Helps you recharge your mind, body, and spirit so that you don't have to burn out, that you don't have to exhaust yourself by doing the things you love.
Burnout is such a huge topic for doctors. We're actually just now talking about this in the physician group that I work for. If you're not happy, if you feel like, I gotta go to work again, even in medicine where it's very satisfying. We help people, but it's hard. It's traumatic. How do you balance that? I think your book's got some great pointers on how to do that.
Insight on that, yeah. Because you could be, so successful in your career, but if your personal well-being is out of shape, your professional well-being is not at its highest potential, and also you're feeling not fulfilled by what you're doing. So if you really want to, up-level your success, it starts with you taking care of yourself.
Okay, so I actually read this book. It's great. I'm very impressed. And there are some chapters that I'm going to go back to and reread again and add some things to my life. I still want you to teach me to use
sleep?
Not the sleep. I got sleep down.
Oh, good.
What are the rollers?
The self-massage balls. Well, okay. So flexibility.
Wait. The what? The what balls?
Self-massage balls. They were created by Jill Miller. She's an incredible fitness and wellness professional.
I'm sure the guys in the audience are really having a problem not laughing at self-massage balls. We got that part down, but how do you use these things?
Can I grab my
go get your balls.
Okay, so
go get your massage balls.
For
Bring
today,
them on camera right now.
I use the yoga tune-up therapy balls to help.
Okay, these are really called self-massage balls.
No.
Oh, you mean
yoga tune-up balls.
I was about to. Oh, that's even better. Yoga tune-up balls.
Or yoga tune-up therapy. I think they were meant to be called yoga tune-up therapy techniques. And they come with balls.
What are they packaged?
Do you want to hold one?
Why don't you go first? This feels like a racquetball.
Yeah.
This feels like
so it's made out of most people use tennis balls or lacrosse balls, but the yoga tune-up therapy balls.
Okay.
They're made out of grippy material.
What am I going to do with this? Rub it on my arm or something?
Yeah. Well, do you want to get rid of a headache? Do you have a headache?
Yeah. This has been a really annoying interview. Okay, I'm just.
So take the ball, and you're gonna prop your elbow up on the side of your chair, or our little down
Okay.
drum here.
Okay.
And then place pressure down to the side of your head.
My
Good.
tension, headache in the temporal
Exactly.
area.
And then you can either sustain compression, or nod, or shake your head, or use the ball just like you're doing to
kinda
make like
rolling
small
around.
circles. Now I have to warn you, like the head massage techniques are very sedating, so very calming to the nervous system. So he might fall asleep in like
Hard for me to fall asleep on camera.
5 minutes. But you know, these techniques are really simple, and
Let's talk about balls on the back. Like, can I self-work my upper back?
Absolutely. And of course, my yoga or my YouTube channel has a million different videos that you can use to relieve tightness and tension.
I'm gonna need to check out your YouTube channel for
Yeah.
like the upper back stuff.
A lot of that, because most people hold tightness and stress in their upper back, their shoulders, especially because we're always on a computer and a cell phone and living in the fight or fight response. So there's a lot going on in that upper body.
You know, I think, I mean, this isn't gonna take your headache and your whatever and make it a 0 from a 9, but it can help, you know, and every little thing helps. I'm gonna give you your ball back.
Thank you.
Caroline.
I'm gonna put the balls back in my tote.
Put that back in the sack.
But I think a lot of the book, I know a lot of the book, gives people tools and resources, easy things. It's really, if you can find a few minutes in your day to massage out some tight, tense muscles, if you can find a few minutes in your day to eat a good, nutritious breakfast, if you can find a few minutes in your day for a few deep breaths, you will be better in your life
Be
and in your
happier.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll help. Okay, so I want to go through this like one chapter at a time. We've got 4 parts. Vision, balanced body, which includes fitness and nutrition, rest, sleep, time management. Part 3, balanced mind, positive thought, diet, gratitude is a game changer. I totally agree. Chapter 8, managing stress for a healthier mindset. Stress is big. It's big. Part 4, balanced spirit. Chapter 9, reflection, go inward and go often. Chapter 10, self-esteem, self-care. Chapter 11, connect to yourself and your world. Part 5, balanced body breakthrough. Okay, so let's go one chapter at a time. I want you to give us, of chapter 1, give us a tidbit. Give us a teaser. Give us something in Vision, Secrets for Success, that people often don't do. And then what people do in this chapter that is a good.
Well, I think if you want to move forward in your life, you have to decide exactly what you're moving forward towards. Create a clear and compelling vision so that you're motivated to do the hard work that you need to transform your life. So if you know where you're going and why you want it, and make it a really meaningful wellness vision that you want to accomplish in your life, then it's easier. It's not easy, but it's easier to do the hard work you need to do to make that vision happen.
So when you work with people, like a lot of the times they don't have a vision, or they're not aware of it, or
it's not clear. So
it's not clear.
I want to lose weight, or I want to feel happier. What does that mean? What does happy mean to you?
Like it's not specific.
Right.
This kind of gets into the SMART goals
Yep.
too, making it measurable,
actionable,
putting it on a timetable, okay.
and making it realistic. Because I think also people don't break it down into these small digestible steps. They kind of go all or nothing, and then that doesn't help, because you're good for 30 days and then you're right back to where you started because
Totally.
it was too much, too fast, too soon.
I had a buddy who lost 60 pounds, went from 350 to 290. I was like, that's great. You know, what's your next goal? And he's like, oh, I don't even have a goal. And I was like, that's why you're stuck at 290. How are you gonna, you know what I mean? So good point. So that's the question to you guys. What do you want? What's your vision? How clear is that? How, specific, and turn to chapter 1 if you want a more clear vision.
And chapter 1 is actually meant to be used often, so throughout different stages of your life, because once you accomplish a goal or you achieve this state of wellness, then you're a continual evolution of self, which is the beautiful thing. Like, your life is always evolving, and hopefully in a way that brings you more joy and meaning. So I hope you reuse chapter 1 often to kind of recalibrate and reset and continue living the life that you want.
Yeah, kind of redefine the goals you have. Okay, part 2, balanced body. Chapter 2, fitness.
Gosh, fitness.
Okay, what are the common problems? What are the common things people are not doing in the fitness category?
Black and white thinking, all or nothing, and extremes. So,
oh wow. Okay, tell me more about that.
Quick
This
fixes.
sounds good.
Everyone just wants the fast, easy way to like lose weight, get in shape, feel great. And
that's great. Is that in your book?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of misinformation out there, right? Like, if you follow this diet, you're going to be healthy, fit, and people just want whatever they can get to
unrealistic promises.
Fix their fitness, right? But they haven't. You can't just go on a program and be fit. It really starts defining, okay, what kind of movement styles do you enjoy? How.
What does that mean, movement styles?
So if you hate running, don't run, because you're not going to stick with it.
Movement style.
Like when you think of, and what motivates you to be fit and healthy? Do you want to be fit and healthy because you enjoy doing races, or that's where you have found really good social connections? Or do you want to be fit and healthy for your friends and your family, for your kids? So identifying the motivation behind your fitness, and then also those ingredients that make you continue to stick with it.
So what works for you? What do you like? If you hate running,
don't run.
If you like to play basketball or soccer or do yoga or do whatever, probably you're going to do that more for your whole life if you do stuff you actually like.
Right. It's about lifestyle, and some people say, well, I hate exercise. But I think that they haven't found something they enjoy yet, and they haven't identified their fitness fit, because some people like to exercise solo, some people like groups, some people like dance classes. Movement can be fun and rewarding if you personalize it and make it work for you.
You know what else is funny? You can associate exercise with something you like. For example, sometimes I actually like to watch the show The Bachelor. It's true. I know. Don't judge.
I
Caroline,
like it
no
too,
judging.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, do you really?
I even kind of checked out Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh, that's disgusting. This interview's over right now. I can't do that. But so what I would do is, I couldn't justify just an hour of watching that. But if I'm on the treadmill and I'm doing that, and then I did that enough to where there was an association, and I actually liked being on the treadmill, because I would only allow myself that show if I was on the treadmill. Kind of funny, right?
The reward.
You can kind of link things in your brain. How can you do that? Link some exercise to a show you like, or...
Well, some people want to spend more time with their children, so why don't you exercise with your kids? Or
that's a great one.
If you're missing time with your friends, why don't you create a healthy hour where you all go for a walk and then go get a smoothie, or make it active.
Yeah.
Sweat working is the new networking. So take your colleagues on a walking meeting, or...
I saw some girl who was trying to do that with dating, and she was...
That's actually a great idea, because if you value fitness and exercise, you're not going to meet the person that you want necessarily at a bar. It'd be nice to, ask them out on a sweat working type
I think
date.
that's great, but I feel like for this particular girl, she was like, yeah, I don't want to go on another date, but if I'm going to get some cardio out of this, I'll be there. It's like, no thanks, sweetheart. If you don't want to be here, talk to me, you're checking your cardio box off, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's kind of my attitude. Okay, that was chapter 2. And there's definitely more pointers in here about
nutrition,
cardiovascular fitness, steady state versus high intensity, weights, etc. Okay, chapter 3, nutrition. Give me a couple of quick pointers that a lot of people are not doing.
Again, all or nothing. The all or nothing mindset is really preventing people from choosing to fuel themselves consistently well over time. Right? They do 30-day quick fix diet, or the next metabolic, whatever. There's so much misinformation out there about nutrition. And again, quick fixes are easy sells, where people are like, oh, this is going to fix my diet, make me feel better. Great. But what happens when you're off of it? You go right back to where you started, because they didn't teach you how to make it work in your life.
So instead of the quick fix, instead of the all or nothing, we should do what?
Small changes.
Like what? Give me an example of a small change.
So I had a client who she watched her intake of wine. So she just started being mindful of it.
Wine, interesting. Okay. Because there's some calories in alcohol.
Yep. And so she just started cutting back on the amount of wine she was drinking. Only drinking, maybe...
Was she doing that in order to lose weight, or why was she cutting back on wine? What was her intention?
Weight loss was one of her goals.
Okay.
general health is also one. But yeah, she stopped drinking as much wine, only allowed herself wine on certain nights of the week, and lost a couple pounds, was feeling better sleep, feeling more energized. So
it's a great example, of a small change. Like, as opposed to jumping on and doing an Atkins or paleo or this enormous change, she just cut back a little bit, felt better, lost some weight. Yep. I like that.
Same with
good example.
You like soda? Try mineral water. Okay, great.
Mindful choices, mindful portions, mindful eating, a lot of mindfulness in here. Okay, the 80-20 rule. I wanted to highlight this.
Yes. Well, because people think being healthy means deprivation and means losing the things that you love that bring you, say you love chocolate cake, you should incorporate that into your life, but not the whole thing. So practicing the 80-20 rule means
I might go eat some chocolate cake tonight, although I like yellow cake with chocolate
icing. Me too.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Practicing the 80-20, giving yourself permission to have foods you love actually makes it less all or nothing. When you
more
tell
sustainable, more realistic, you're actually going to stick to it.
And then you don't binge on all the chocolate cake because you know you can have it anytime.
So 80% of the time you stick to a good diet, and then like 20% of the time you eat a little crazy, you eat some bad stuff. And that's part of the plan.
Yep.
I like that. Okay, chapter 4, rest and sleep. Sleep your way to the top. Caroline, tell me how to do that.
Well, I think sleep is one of the most important things we can prioritize, but it remains something that we don't think about in our day-to-day lives. We think eat right, exercise, manage stress, but really sleep is everything. Because when you think about how you feel when you're tired or you have not had enough sleep, you can't make good decisions. You're not as inclined to be present and awake and aware. They say most of the bad decisions made by the top leaders in our country have been made because they just don't get enough sleep.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That's funny. I wonder who said that. Okay, so how much sleep do you think the average person should get?
I think it's different person to person. 7 hours nightly. I think you kind of have to play around with it, see how you feel.
I think it's like 8 or 9.
Well, he's the doctor, so.
I think it's like 8 or 9. There was this woman I worked with in the hospital, and she's like, Doc, I feel so tired. This is like a curbside. She's like, I feel so tired all the time. So I said, how much are you sleeping? She goes, maybe 4 hours on a good night. And she's like, tell me which supplement I should take to get energy. I'm thinking, and I was like,
sleep.
There's no substitute. There's no supplement. There was this, I wrote about this thing online for weightlifters and for those that are trying to like really do resistance training you have peaked levels of growth hormone, testosterone, all these hormones that repair the body and actually help those muscles grow at night when you sleep. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing if you're eating, the healthy food, all the protein and healthy carbs, and then you're doing your workouts, but you're only sleeping 4 or 6 hours at night, you're not going to grow as much. You're not going to have, that restorative function of it. Sleep is underemphasized.
Yeah, it is. And we don't get enough of it because we're too plugged into our devices.
And I love sleeping. It's terrible.
We all do, and it should
feel incredible.
It has to be a part of your wellness plan.
Okay, chapter 5, time management. Mm. Give me a couple things people don't do right in this chapter.
One thing at a time. People multitask and think it's the secret to getting more done, but actually they get less done with less quality. When you choose one thing for like a focused amount of time and then move to the next thing, you're more productive, you get more done. And I think being more productive really starts with like unplugging from Instagram, Facebook, phone. Like you have to have dedicated time for certain things.
That's so true. And I'll be honest, like I'm so guilty of that.
It's hard. I'm good sometimes and then I have to work on it. So
it's one of those things like if you set some rules and then you like stay away from it, or I think I've made rules where it's like, okay, you can check your email once a day, mm-hmm. or you can look at it once a day. There's a withdrawal period of a couple of days where I'm like, oh, I really miss it. And then it's like, then I kind of feel better. And it's like, gosh, why am I feeling better? Because I'm not like all stimulated and all like catching up on crazy, horrible, stupid news. And
because when you let emails and text messages dictate your schedule, you're letting other people's schedule prioritize your needs. So it's actually like really a terrible like productivity
just
killer.
Say no. Page 133. I feel like that's the DARE program. I've got this DARE shirt that's like black. Just say no is so true. It's so good.
True.
It's so good. It's helpful.
Because people think that they have to say yes to everything, not to miss out. We have fear of missing out. That's like an epidemic now. Everyone's like so scared they're going to miss one thing if they say no. But really they need to be able to say no to certain things so they can say yes to themselves and their health and wellness and their lives. So
it's kind of like putting yourself first. Crazy idea. Okay, part 3, balanced mind. Chapter 6, the positive thought diet. Give me a couple of things people do and don't do around that.
I think, not being aware of all the thoughts and emotions that influence, this constant rainstorm of information in your head influences, like if you're thinking positive thoughts, if you're grateful for what you have, if you are encouraging to yourself, you're more inclined to make healthy choices. So positive thought diet is all about getting that mind in shape so you can continue to live the life you love.
It's interesting, as I've worked with patients and coached them, I can observe how depressed patients think, in kind of these negative thought patterns. Mm-hmm. So if over and over you kind of tell yourself you're worthless, what you want doesn't matter, you're really critical, God, that just weighs on you over time. And then contrast that with if you're your own friend, if you're your own coach and your own supportive, that too is going to kind of lift you up. And I can see it on the health side. Some people have more pains. Mm-hmm. They feel worse. They come into the ER more often.
Exactly.
I think this stuff it does intersect in the ER with what I do. I think it's real.
Everything, yeah. It depends on it's like working out your mind in the gym. If you practice push-ups of really negative, self-critical thought, you're going to continue to get more of those. Those get stronger and stronger. But if you practice, positive thinking and like self-encouraging, self-compassionate language inside your head, if you work that out, it's going to get stronger over time.
Now that's not to say that, and this is kind of my shit-talking challenge with a lot of these guys for losing weight. That's not to say that there's not like a place for some healthy joking.
Yeah, but that's playful. It's
kind
not
of playful
like,
stuff. It's not like the real tear down. Like, I'm challenging one of my old college roommates to, a little get in shape thing, and he said he's just like, oh, I'm gonna. And I said, John, you're too old, you're too bald, you got too many kids, and you work too much. Like, there's no way you're gonna win. And he was like shaking.
He wants to.
Was so mad. He's like, you got my blood boiling. So like, I think that kind of thing can be kind of fun and appropriate, but like real teardown, no good. Mm-hmm. Okay, chapter 7, gratitude is a game changer. Tell me about gratitude.
Well,
do most people do this, or do you find that's a common thing that people do not?
In like spurts, but not consistently. I can guarantee you that if you take a tiny bit of time every day to count the things you're grateful for, your life will like be infinitely better. That simple thing.
It's so funny, but I have done this in my own life where for me, it's best if I do it at the beginning of the day, like as close to I get up as possible. And I'm just like thankful for a small thing and a big thing. Yep. And I just sit there and I let that gratitude just happen. Mm-hmm. And then like that starts the day in a good direction, as opposed to like the opposite where it's like, I gotta do this today, I gotta go to work, oh my God, I have to go interview Caroline Jordan. Like starting out totally different where it's like, I'm just thankful that I get to talk about the stuff that I love on, or whatever the thing is. It just sends that, it's a real powerful thing. I've experienced that in my own life for sure.
Yeah. So I can guarantee you that if you just try that consistently, like 30 days to 30-day program, 30-day gratitude program, you're going to want to keep doing it. Because when you recognize what you're grateful for, what you have expands in value. And you are able to like experience more happiness and joy in your everything. So
I feel like we could talk about all these topics for a long time.
I know.
Okay, this is a big one.
You need this book.
But you got to go get the book. Chapter 8, Managing Stress for a Healthier Mindset. Okay, give me 2 things you commonly see that people are suffering with stress or that they're not doing or that stress is causing problems.
Mostly insomnia. They feel like all the time overwhelmed, have to get this done, deadline, and they're just constantly in this state of fight or flight. So when you're in fight or flight all the time, all these physical reactions happen in your body that are not fun to deal with. Digestion, insomnia, headaches, like
consequences,
yeah,
side effects of adrenaline.
Right, and they think they need something to calm down, so they use like, wine, food, alcohol, whatever, but really they just need to like...
Self-medicating is what they're doing.
Right, so instead of self-medicate, they could meditate, right? Do something that helps them like center, ground themselves, because life is stressful. That's how it goes. It's hard, it's challenging, it will throw you so many hard things. But if you can find a way to be present within yourself and move through those challenges with ease and strength, then no matter what, no matter the demands, you're going to be just fine.
I feel like a lot of people, and I know this is, I work in the ER. Mm-hmm. It feels incredible to be amped up on adrenaline, like you feel alive. I think of a lot of us like, and I would even say are addicted to that feeling. The problem is there's a lot of consequences that come with it.
Especially chronic.
Yeah.
So,
like to talk doctor stuff, like blood pressure, diabetes, like when I'm stressed out, I eat worse, and so I think it's totally, and you devote a lot of stuff in here onto how can you like dial that down? How can you get that adrenaline out of your system so that your body functions more like natural? Because we're not supposed to live with adrenaline pumping through our veins every day. It's going to get you. Mm-hmm. That's the early heart attack, stroke. It's going to get you, not to mention kind of these other problems of sleep, etc. So I think that's one for me, balance-wise. Like I ran hard for so many years, and residency was just incredibly stressful. And part of me loved it. I just loved that feeling. But then I packed on the weight a little bit. I wasn't so happy. And I think this was part of the reason. I think this is like part of this burnout stuff that we're talking about. So you got to push back, counter that. And there's a lot of ways to do that in chapter 8. Look at me pump this book.
All inside.
Balanced Body Breakthrough. I didn't read this either. Get your mind, body, and spirit in great shape so you can love your life. Where can they find this book?
On Amazon, Inkshares, and Barnes & Noble. So we'll include the links below this podcast for sure.
Mid-October 2016, this book is coming for you. Chapter 9. So we got a couple more chapters left. Let's give them a couple more teasers of what they can get. Reflection. Go inward and go often. Do you think most people do this?
No. We live in an external world. Be successful, make a lot of money, look good, be powerful.
All that sounds good.
Yeah.
But, so wait a minute. So what do I need this chapter for?
To search inside yourself, because no amount of money or success or image will ever make you happy.
What will make you happy?
Connecting to yourself and your world in a meaningful way, and living a life that feels good.
Give me all that sounds good. Give me an example of that, like somebody you've seen and worked with, etc.
Yeah, like it's interesting.
I'm hammering you with these questions.
This is good. I have a lot of
sticking it to
really successful, hardworking clients, and they feel like they're burnt out all the time, but they're successful, and so they're excited about their accomplishments in their career. But they're like, man, I feel tired and I don't feel happy. I should be happy. I've got everything that I set out to achieve. Exactly. There's some famous quote that says like, man will, spend his energy trying to make wealth and then spend his wealth trying to recuperate his health.
It's a Dalai Lama quote.
Yeah. Yep. But really like no amount of success or money will make you feel happy. That really is within yourself. And by searching inside yourself and practicing gratitude and living in the moment and trying to find meaning in your day-to-day, that will make you feel happy. Happiness is something you get. It's something that you experience.
Self-esteem and self-care, chapter 10.
Big one. Most people don't.
What percentage of people practice good self-care in your opinion in the United States of America? Are we talking you think 10%, 40%? Most people don't.
I don't,
I would say less than 20%. I'd say maybe 10.
Some of us are good in some areas. Some of us are really good with fitness. We have this fitness routine down. We do it all the time. We're good at diet. We eat really well. We meal plan. but we need more stress reduction. Some of us meditate every day, but we don't exercise. Some of us spend a lot of time with our families, but we don't eat well for our bodies. So I think that's why this book, like, there's different, it's like a buffet. You can say, okay, you know what, my spiritual health is really great because I'm a meditator, but my physical health needs a little bit of work. So I'm going to work on this chapter. Or, I've been dealing with a lot of stress, and even though I'm exercising and I'm eating right, my mind is really out of shape and I feel overwhelmed all the time. So you can kind of pick and choose, like, oh, I'm going to fill my plate with these suggestions because my wellness right now needs a little bit of love in this area.
I totally agree, and I want to use the word holistic. I think that's what the whole person is, because you're more than just your diet and your exercise, and you do have to worry about your stress and your, and your social life and your personal life and your family and all this stuff. It gets overwhelming sometimes to think about all that. But that's what it means, for happiness and health and all. You gotta put it all together.
Right. I'm sure you see people who recently lost a loved one and they get sick or they suffer from some serious, physical reaction to that, that experience they had in their life. Mm-hmm. So you see that probably all the time. Like their demanding chronic job has caused them to, get some sort of illness. And this book is preventative. It will help you fix things if they need to fix, but hopefully you won't get to that point.
Totally. I've seen so many people in the ER where these things are coming to the surface and causing health problems. Okay, the last chapter, connect to yourself and your world.
This is my favorite part.
Oh, this is your favorite part?
Well,
why?
Because I think the whole process of getting in shape, whether physically or mentally or spiritually, means getting to know yourself and searching inside yourself and your life and how you want to experience this gift, because we live once, and if you live for the world or for the external, or you just kind of go through the motions, it's not yours. So I think the search inside yourself piece, connect to yourself and how you're living in your world and others and this beautiful space, that's really going to help you find happiness.
It's funny when you start talking about that stuff, it makes me start thinking about it. I have to ground myself back here in the interview, but that's exciting stuff.
It is, absolutely. So you need this book. It's your tool book for everything that you want in your wellness, mind, body, and spirit.
I'm so glad we could finally do this.
Me too.
This has been a good one.
It has been a really good show.
Yeah.
So rewatch anytime you need a little bit of wellness support.
Maybe we can have you back again.
Love that.
After a little bit, after the book's out, we can talk about how things are going. And
I would love it.
Great.
Sign me up.
Thank you for watching the Dr. Burchett Show. Again, check out Caroline Jordan's book, Give Me Your Best Vanna. You've had time to work on this. Better. Balanced Body Breakthrough, available on all of the Amazon and where else is it available?
Barnes & Noble, Inkshares.
Barnes & Noble and Inkshares, mid-October. Check it out. And give us some feedback. Let me know if you liked the show, what you thought. Contact Caroline. Let her know as well. And thank you for watching.
Thanks so much, you guys. Oh no, wait, stop. Ah! That was a good show.
I thought that was really good.